sister or the? Say it again. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Hello, everybody.
Hello, how are you?
Good. Starting right on time here. Make sure you go over the organizational
Tide. They couldn't have played a better opponent. They better beat them by 50. I don't care as long as they beat them. I don't care what the score is.
I can't stand Georgia.
Good evening and welcome to the regular meeting of Bedford City Council, December 4th, 2023. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Clerk, call the roll, please.
Here.
Smith,
Here.
Asbury,
Here.
Saunders,
Here.
Cochee,
Here.
Spinks. Here. Janutus.
Here.
Hey, Council, you have the minutes of the budget hearing of October 23rd, 2023. Any corrections to that? Seeing none, can I have a motion for acceptance? By Asbury, second by Smith. Call the roll, please.
Fluharty,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Asbury,
Yes.
Saunders,
Stay.
Cochee,
Yes.
Spinks.
Yes.
And Janutus.
Yes.
And you have the minutes of the budget hearing of November 13th, 2023. Any corrections to that? Seeing none, I have a motion for acceptance by Spinks, second by Janutus. Call the roll, please.
Fluharty,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Asbury,
Yes.
Saunders,
Yes.
Cochee,
Yes.
Spinks,
Yes.
Janutus.
Stay.
And now you have the minutes of the work session of November 20th, 2023. Any corrections to those? Seeing none, motion for acceptance by Smith, second by Asbury. Call the roll, please.
Fluharty,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Asbury,
Yes.
Saunders,
Yes.
Cochee,
Abstain.
Spinks,
Yes.
Janutus.
Yes.
And you have the minutes, the regular meeting, no, they don't have.
She didn't have.
Okay. And no presentation tonight. We'll get under old business. Oh,
Yeah, I'm just here.
okay. Did I get something to say?
Say a word, yeah.
Huh?
Say a word.
Well,
Introduce yourself.
yeah, my name is Kenny Harrington. I'm the Executive Director of Academic Achievement for Bedford City Schools. I'm just here to support, no presentation or anything, so.
Okay, well, thanks for being here.
No, no problem at all.
Okay. Ordinance number 81-23.
Being an ordinance to make appropriations for current expenses and expenditures of the city of Bedford, Ohio during the year 2024 and declaring an emergency.
I have a motion for suspension by Fluharty, second by Spinks. Call the roll, please.
Fluharty,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Asbury,
Yes.
Saunders,
Yes.
Cochee,
Yes.
Spinks,
Yes.
Janutus.
Yes.
Motion for third and final by Saunders, second by Asbury. Mike? Or Jen, who wants this one? Expenditures.
Doesn't really matter, it's pretty straightforward, this is our budget for next year. We've already done all of our budget hearings with, our meetings actually with council. We're ready to pass this, so we can get going with next year.
Questions? Call the roll, please.
Fluharty,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Asbury,
Yes.
Saunders,
Yes.
Cochee,
Yes.
Spinks,
Yes.
Janutus.
Yes.
Ordinance number 89-23.
All right, so that passed, correct? Okay, and an ordinance amending section 1305.16 entitled Fee Schedules, section 1311.22 entitled Certificate of Inspection Fees, section 1311.32 entitled Certificate of Inspection for Rental Unit Fees, section 1303.04 entitled Time and Fee, regarding registration fees for contractors and of the codified ordinances of the city of Bedford, and declaring an emergency.
We had two readings on that. Motion for suspension by Smith, second by Saunders. Call the roll, please.
Fluharty,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Asbury,
Yes.
Saunders,
Yes.
Cochee,
Yes.
Spinks,
Yes.
Janutus.
Yes.
Motion for third and final by Spinks, second by Fluharty. Mike?
Thank you, Mayor. As previously mentioned, this piece of legislation is a amendment of all of the fees that fall under the building department. This will include any new construction, permitting for all commercial work, all residential work. It also includes examples of site work, demolition permit fees, rental registration, rental inspection fees. One of the new items that we did include in this proposal was, in the past, we did not charge a fee, which was unlike a lot of municipalities for planning commission applications. We did propose to add a modest $50 fee for applicants wishing to go in front of the commission. That was also included in here. We looked at neighboring communities, we did comparisons. We also requested an opinion from Safe Built, which is a private consulting company that provides these services. We looked at all of that and made this recommendation to City Council. These fees would go into effect in January of 2024, and I did want to note that the last time we adjusted those was in 2014, so it'll be 10 years since we last modified those fees.
Thank you. Questions? None, call the roll, please.
Fluharty?
Yes.
Smith?
Yes.
Asbury?
Yes.
Saunders?
Yes.
Cochee?
Yes.
Spinks?
Yes.
Janutus?
Yes.
Ordinance number 93-23.
Amending ordinance number 10,043-22, authorizing a contract with GDP Group for engineering services within the city of Bedford and declaring an emergency.
And it's our wish to put that on second reading. I have a motion for such by Spinks, second by Janutus. You want to touch on that, Mike, or?
Yes, this is approving the fees, the hourly rates for the various disciplines that are provided through GPD, our engineering firm. One of the unique components of working with them is they provide engineering for our utility services that we provide in Bedford, which not all engineering firms do that. They provide the engineering for all of our water projects, our water infrastructure, as well as the wastewater treatment facility and our collection system.
Thank you. Call the roll, please.
Fluharty?
Yes.
Smith?
Yes.
Asbury?
Yes.
Saunders?
Abstain.
Cochee?
Yes.
Spinks?
Yes.
Janutus?
Yes.
Ordinance number 97-23.
Authorizing the city manager to enter into a contract with Atwell's Police and Fire Equipment for the purchase of tactical ballistic vests for the fire department and declaring an emergency.
And we wish to also put that on second reading. Motion for such by Saunders, second by Smith. Mike, you want to touch on that?
Yes, we are purchasing 25 of the ballistic vests for everyone in the fire department. We are still waiting on a second quote, although I believe that quote will be higher than what was proposed here. This is being purchased through funds that were budgeted in the 2023 budget, along with a substantial donation that was made to the department.
Thank you. Call the roll, please.
Fluharty?
Yes.
Smith?
Yes.
Asbury?
Yes.
Saunders?
Yes.
Cochee?
Yes.
Spinks?
Yes.
Janutus?
Yes.
Reports. Mr. City Manager.
Thank you, Mayor. We have a couple items today. First, I just want to thank the entire service department, especially those staff members that have been working since late August, early September on the holiday display downtown. Turned out tremendous. But also acknowledging the entire department, because we're pulling 3, sometimes 4 staff members off of regular routine projects, leaf collection, to focus on that, and they have to get picked up by the rest of the department, and everyone did that. So I just wanted to send out a quick thank you to the entire staff at the service garage. Also touching on leaf collection, that is continuing, and let's hope that the weather still permits that. We've made it through, we have 4 sections, we break the city up into 4 sections. 3 of those sections we've been through 3 times. By the end of this week, we will complete the 4th section. Our goal is to make it around 4 times to every street in town, and we'll continue that as long as weather permits. I also wanted to just briefly touch on, we did have Sean Francis participated in a walkthrough with ODOT officials and Shelley Company for Broadway, and we've reviewed a large punch list for the project. A number of the items ODOT and Shelley are working to address. Some of those items we are waiting on Cleveland Water on some of those castings that need to get adjusted. Ultimately, per the contract, they have until May of 2024 to complete all of those. I think the majority of them will be done, but no major issues that we've seen right now. Lastly, I just wanted to mention that we do have a draft report completed for our no feasible alternative study that was required through the Ohio EPA. We will be reviewing that draft report over the next couple of weeks, and we intend to present that and the findings to City Council in early 2024. We will need to formally submit that report to the Ohio EPA by May of 2024. And you know, obviously there's some alternatives that we will be recommending to City Council. That's what we're working through. So we'll have more on that when we meet in early next year. End of report.
Thank you. Mr. Law Director.
Thank you all for coming. No report tonight.
Thank you. This is Finance Director.
Thank you, Barry. I also do not have a report tonight.
Thank you. We start with Mr. Kuhardi.
That's right. First today. The only thing I really have to say is I belong in the school foundation, and we just had our Holly Ball event past weekend, and I don't have any figures as far as how much money we made, but we do pretty well on this event. And this year we didn't have anywhere to hide all of our items that we auctioned off until they came and picked them up. So I made a phone call to Mr. Malice down here, and he got me Elmwood. And I want to thank you, Mike, and Mike Callahan, and Sean, and Bob for helping us out this Saturday. It was a good event, and everything went smoothly, and we were warm. Of course, it wasn't that cold anyhow, figures, but it was a good day, and we got through it, and everything was good. So thanks. In the report.
Thank you. Mr. Smith.
Just like to say good evening to everyone, and I did say or wish that everyone did have a good Turkey Day, safe, and someone was saying, I think that was Don down here saying that don't let the turkey be the only thing that gets stuffed. I hope everybody got stuffed. In the report.
Thank you. Mr. Asbury.
I did not get stuffed. Thank you, Mayor. I would like to echo the sentiments of City Manager Malice. The service department does one hell of a job decorating downtown, decorating the square, the outlines of the buildings. Lots of compliments from people around that don't live in the city of Bedford. So thank you so much. And to everybody that made the tree lighting successful. Service department, of course, Parks and Recreation, our firefighters. I was kind of iffy. I got there about 5:15 and I didn't see a whole lot of people. And normally it's packed. And we got up on the gazebo about 5 minutes to 6, and I looked out and the place did fill out. So that's great. Place looks great. The only thing else I have is I would like to wish my mother-in-law, 40-year Bedford resident, Judy Nemeth, a happy birthday. She's 39 today. So happy birthday, Jude. Thank you.
smart.
I've known her for 40 years. Mr. Saunders.
Yes, once I will also congratulate our service department for a job well done with the lighting, especially lighting the buildings downtown this year. Of course, City Hall's outlined too, but we still have, I think, one of the best displays, not only in the state, but in the country. It's amazing on how a lot of the surrounding communities now, over the last 2 years, have decided to try to copy us. So they've expanded their displays tremendously, but ours is still the best. So kudos to our service department for a job well done. Just want to make a quick comment. We passed the budget for next year. This, unfortunately, is my last budget that I'll get to pass. After 26 budgets, this is quite an accomplishment, I think, anyway. So good luck with that. And on top of that, with the sewer or the sewage treatment plant and all of that, I hope the residents realize that our sewer rates are not going to stay the same, because a lot of communities, especially regional, have had to really whack their sewer rates up in order to pay for these improvements that EPA is mandating. So unfortunately, that's going to come around to us probably in the next couple years too. So I won't be on council to keep an eye on the infrastructure stuff anymore, but it is coming, so don't be surprised. So we've gotten away with a lot lower rates than a lot of other areas for a number of years, but it will catch up to us. And don't forget, December 7th is Pearl Harbor Day. It's one of the most dramatic events that ever happened in the United States. That's coming up here this week. Don't forget all those that perished in that and what the end result ended up being in the war. Thank you.
Thank you. Mrs. Spinks.
Good evening. Just first want to start off with saying condolence to our mayor for having the second family member, cousin, passed away. Did not know the first one that passed away 2 weeks ago, but I did know Miss Janet that recently passed away, and had the honor of delivering Meals on Wheels to her a couple times. She was a really sweet lady, and condolence to your family, Stan. And also to our vice mayor, Mr. Fluhart, he also lost a cousin who had been ill, and it's tough anytime, but it's really tough at the holidays. So prayers for your families and condolence to that. It's tough to lose people that you're close to. Museum speaker series is going to be, it's always in the community room. It's going to be this Friday, December the 8th at 7 o'clock. And this one's going to be, the name of it's going to be called Take the A Train. And it's about the train that served the Bedford and Maple Heights community from 1895 to 1932. So again, that's at 7 o'clock, and that's free. That is our speaker series that we have every second Friday of the month. So make sure you mark that on your calendar. Then we have we have the very next day, on the 9th, is going to be our annual Chris Kindle Mart. And that is from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. We have about 10 local artists that will be selling their work there. And Lori Schroeder has once again really worked very hard to put this together. She is such a blessing to the museum, and a lot of really nice stuff. So if you're looking for some Christmas shopping, make sure that you go, and then you can enjoy those beautiful lights on the square. We also, on the Christmas tree lighting, had one of probably the biggest crowds we've ever had. You couldn't move in the museum, and it was so neat because so many kids that have been coming for years are now old enough, and they came in for the first time to see. So we did a lot of tours. My granddaughters from New York and son-in-law and daughter really enjoyed it. It was really nice, so it made us really shine. So again, kudos to the service department for doing that. We also also at the museum, we were just really, really busy. We've got our Christmas raffle going on, and it is a Holiday Express animated train set. Pretty neat. If you went into the museum, you saw it. We've got it set up, and that drawing is going to be on the 15th. Get your tickets now. You can contact Laura, or you can go up to the museum and get them when you go to Chris Cragle Mart on Saturday to do your Christmas shopping. Just letting everybody know, the weather does get bad when it snows again. Please do not put your trash cans in the street, because then the trash guys can't, and then it's hard, they blow around or they fall around. So please don't put your trash cans in the street. No, it's inconvenient. Sometimes it's piled up so much, you have to put them in your driveway. It's a little bit of inconvenience, but please don't put them on the street. And again, about trash cans staying out for weeks and weeks, or if you're gonna be moving or something, please either, if you're in Ward 1, let me know so I can let the service department know, or if it's a big thing, you're gonna need to get a trash thing. That's been happening a lot. The trash has been absolutely atrocious because when it flows over and then it goes all over the place. So, and also a friendly reminder too, I know it's not your trash, but sometimes when trash gets on your tree line, please pick it up. I know it's not your trash, but it is your neighborhood, it is your niece, it is your city, so help keep Bedford clean. End of report.
Thank you. Mr. Janutus.
Thank you. Well, this is my second to last meeting, so I should have a report, but I think I'm gonna wait till the last meeting to give my final report. Thank you.
Thank you. Just got went to the NOPEC annual meeting and got a breakdown of what NOPEC does for the city, and we have over 6,000 homes and businesses involved with NOPEC, which is a good thing, because their electric rate now is 6.4%, and CEI went up to 10.5%, and maybe a little bit more. So NOPEC's a good thing. We've been a member of the NOPEC family for a long time. And gas, we have 2,400 members, and I just saw in the paper that Dominion's looking at raising their rates. So you might want to contact NOPEC if you're not with them and get on board a good thing over there. And NOPEC has been very good to the city over the years. I forget how long we've been there, it's a long time. They have given us grants of over $172,000. We've done a lot of energy audits. That's pretty amazing if you want to.
Yeah, and our cap, and to that point, our cap is just under $40,000 a year that we're able to apply for funding. And what we do is, for those of you that may recall, when we were doing some renovations to the community center, all of that lighting in the community center was paid through the NOPEC grant. The city didn't pay any general fund dollars towards that. There were some minor improvements that were made in this facility. When all of the street lights on Willis failed, those used to be the decorative green pole lights that were relocated from the old downtown. They were put on Willis Street. Those had failed. We could no longer find parts for those. We used the NOPEC dollars to purchase all new LED lights down Willis Street. So those are just a couple of examples of some projects that we were able to complete, funded 100% through grants from NOPEC.
Yeah, it's a good thing. And let's move on with business. Motion to accept the Planning Commission's decision denying Chris Goodrich of Palmetto Sola LLC requesting a zoning permit to install a roof-mounted solar photovoltaic system on 3 sides of the house on Palmetto. Like I said, the Planning Commission denied it. So yes, if you agree with planning, and no if you disagree. Saunders. Call the roll, please.
Fluharty?
Yes.
Smith?
Yes.
Asbury?
Yes.
Saunders?
Yes.
Cochi?
Yes.
Spinks?
Yes.
Janutus?
No.
Motion to accept Planning Commission's decision denying Marvin Beck on Broadway to use the property for a funeral home. They denied it, so yes means you agree. Again, with planning, no means you disagree. We have a motion for agreement to the Planning Commission. By Spinks, second by Fluharty. Call the roll, please.
Fluharty?
Yes.
Smith?
Yes.
Asbury?
Yes.
Saunders?
Yes.
Cochi?
Yes.
Spinks?
Yes.
Janutus?
No.
And a motion to accept the Planning Commission's decision to accept a zoning permit to Matthew Robinson, CNE electrical contractor, to install a roof-mounted solar photovoltaic system on the south side of the dwelling on Taft Avenue. The Planning Commission voted yes, so if you agree with them, vote yes. Again, if you disagree, vote no. And need a motion to accept their decision. By Saunders, second by Asbury. Call the roll, please.
Fluharty?
Yes.
Smith?
Yes.
Asbury?
Yes.
Saunders?
Yes.
Cochi?
Yes.
Spinks?
Yes.
Janutus?
Yes.
And a motion to deny the,
Mayor, can you use this?
oh, use this one, okay. A motion to remand the application of Diosolo LLC and LAM Food Service Consulting, Inc. concerning 115 Northfield Road to obtain additional evidence from the applicants to make an informed decision prior to presenting it to council for review. I apologize, I wasn't at the work session, but, touch on that? Or?
It's basically gonna go back for further evidence before the BZA prior to making a decision. The agenda has a little different wording, but after further thought, I thought I should change it to this wording, so. Can we get a motion to that effect?
By Spinks, second by Janutus. Call the roll, please.
Fluharty?
Yes.
Smith?
Yes.
Asbury?
Yes.
Saunders?
Yes.
Cochi?
Yes.
Spinks?
Yes.
Janutus?
Yes.
Okay, so that will go back to Board of Zoning. Ordinance number 98-23.
Authorizing the city manager to apply for fiscal year 2024 Community Development Supplemental Grant Fund through the Cuyahoga County Department of Development to fund the 2024 Bedford Historic District Small Business Grant Program and declaring an emergency.
A motion for suspension. By Spinks, second by Janutus. Call the roll, please.
Fluharty?
Yes.
Smith?
Yes.
Asbury?
Yes.
Saunders?
Yes.
Cochi?
Yes.
Spinks?
Yes.
Janutus?
Yes.
Motion for third and final. Saunders, second by Smith. Mike?
Thank you, Mayor. The CDSG grant program is offered through Cuyahoga County. It is capped at $50,000. This legislation authorizes us to apply for that funding with the goal of establishing an application process for both property owners and businesses within the historic district for various improvements, exterior, some minor interior, and some other incentives to help with the development in that district. If we are successful, which we should know in the spring of by the spring of 2024, we will have some information going out to everyone, as well as an application and eligible projects.
Thank you. Call the roll, please.
Fluharty?
Yes.
Smith?
Yes.
Asbury?
Yes.
Saunders?
Yes.
Cochi?
Yes.
Spinks?
Yes.
Janutus?
Yes.
Ordinance ordinance number 99-23.
Authorizing the city manager to enter into a contract with Ferguson Waterworks for the purchase of 5 fire hydrants and declaring an emergency.
Have a motion for suspension by Smith, second by Saunders. Call the roll, please.
Fluharty?
Yes.
Smith?
Yes.
Asbury?
Yes.
Saunders?
Yes.
Cochee?
Yes.
Spinks?
Yes.
Janutus?
Yes.
Motion for third and final by Fluharty, second by Spinks. Mike?
Mayor?
Pretty self-explanatory.
Yep, pretty self-explanatory. This, the cost of these funds are within this year's 2023 hydrant budget supply. The reason we are requesting to go through Ferguson Waterworks, they are the exclusive provider of this type of hydrant due to the alpha connection and the Cleveland thread nozzles that are required at these locations.
Call the roll, please.
Fluharty?
Yes.
Smith?
Yes.
Asbury?
Yes.
Saunders?
Yes.
Cochee?
Yes.
Spinks?
Yes.
Janutus?
Yes.
And now we come to the hearing of citizens. If you wish to speak, please come forward, state your name, your address, and your comment.
Oh, go ahead. No, you can go first. No, I'd like some time to prepare, it's okay.
Dietrich, 137 Santa Circle. Miss Joe, I haven't seen you lately. But you missed me too. Quick question though, why is the council okaying one roof but not the other? For the photo cells, I assume they're energy cells?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yes, I'll address it. The main reason, the one that was approved was proposed to, all of the solar panels were along the rear of the home.
Okay.
The one that was denied, he wanted it on 3 sides, and they were on both of the sides of the home and on the front. Over the years, there's been some concerns over, and although not initially addressed here, but aesthetics, the commission has talked about glare. So when they were proposing to approve the 2 sides, the applicant was not present to see if that would be acceptable or not. So ultimately it was denied based on what the application was requesting, and it was both sides and the front of the home.
Okay, thank you.
That was the difference. Yep.
Questions I haven't brought up is partly because what I don't know, and it having to do with the NOACA funding for transportation. On that, I was interested in where things were going with that, and the one thing that I noticed when I looked at that is I looked at that photo of people riding on their bikes on what would seem to be the parking lots along the Broadway. In the process of involving biking here, was there any plans to take any of the parking area along Broadway and make it a bicycle area?
Yeah, no, I don't believe that any of the on-street parking would be affected down Broadway. Obviously, the goal of the TLCI project, I believe that's what you're referring
Yes.
to, is connecting the metro parks to other assets within the city. And as some of those, and I'm being as vague as possible without getting into all the details, but it's connecting assets like obviously our historic district, connecting this facility, recreation facilities, the library, making it not only bike-friendly, but pedestrian-friendly, walkable. So there were a couple different alternatives that were proposed. One of the alternatives, there's concerns having crossings at 5 points. I think the one based on the feedback at the most recent public meeting, it seems that the recommended route would be center and kind of making its way up towards Washington, down Washington to Woodrow, getting out right over there by North Park to Willis, down to the park. But that's obviously, that's more of a, the long-term goals out of this. There's some, as I refer to as low-hanging fruit of some things that during the public meetings and surveys, hearing some of the concerns, one of the concerns is the crosswalk, some of the concerns over speeding, concerns over lack of sidewalk, for instance, on Taylor Street, going from Taylor at Viaduct Park specifically down to Union, there's no public sidewalk. So the low-hanging fruit is looking at some funding that we can establish a sidewalk maybe in 2024 in that location, possibly enhancing the safety around the crosswalk in downtown Bedford. Does it make sense to establish a speed table in that location? Those are some of the low-hanging fruits. The goal of this is to determine, I think based on the public feedback, is best route. And then once that's completed, we're now eligible to go after large funding sources through NOACA. So we would then go after large grants, which those funds wouldn't be available till, I would imagine, 25 and beyond.
Okay, all right. A couple of things too, I wanted to clarify too. This is not going to mean that North Boulevard is going to be blocked off for transit purposes.
I'm sorry, North
Park?
Park?
North
No,
Park.
not at all, not at all.
Okay.
Yeah, no, that'll still be a public roadway.
All right, and one suggestion that I made the first meeting that I would make again is if the city is looking at funding for that purpose on that, I know that everyone looks at alternative transportation. Personally, when I saw the photo of someone riding a bike, I don't know how many people here can raise their hand and say they have a bike that they ride right now. I don't ride one anymore, it's still sitting in the garage of my old house on that. But what I do see would be useful is if the city were able to propose that for purpose of transportation for people in general through the area, particularly older persons, and have a community bus. A commuter like you'd see in RTA, they don't provide here, but would be very helpful, I believe, on that, especially in the neighborhoods I look at where most people that I knew are older than me, and I'm old enough right now to tell on that. So I would see that, and also the fact that I walk up and down the street with my dog all the time, and many often see people who are walking, carrying their groceries in bags back to where they live on that sense. So it's something to just keep in mind in that if the city had its own communication or commuter system, something that would take you through the neighborhoods, and also have targets such as Giant Eagle, Marks maybe, on that, through the whole area of the city, not unintentionally, and I intend to be really for the city. I don't want it to become part of RTA's spread out thing. It's something for the city. Just my suggestion for those grants when they come up.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Sir. All right, thank you. Hello. So, my name is Mitchell Edgecombe, and I live on 57 Chelmsford Drive. But before I start speaking, I do have some drafts I'd like to distribute. May I do that now? Okay. Sweet. So, I only have 7 though, so could you share them? Yeah. Because I only intended on them for being the wards and then the council president or mayor. So, I'm here today because we are currently experiencing an imminent public health crisis which is being caused by the manufacture and use of PVC products. Now I'm sure you all heard of PVC before, also known as polyvinyl chloride, because it is the 3rd most commonly produced plastic in the entire world. It is so common, in fact, that in this country alone in 2019, around 10 to 20 billion pounds of it was produced in 1 year, which it's a lot of PVC. Now, I'm sure you recognize the name polyvinyl chloride. As the name suggests, chlorine is integral to the manufacturing process for PVC. And the problem with this is that throughout the life cycle of PVC products, toxic polyvinyl chloride gases will be emitted throughout their entire life cycle. And a byproduct of these gases can include phthalates and dioxins, the last of which is known for being the most carcinogenic substance on Earth. Now, which means it's cancer-causing. Not only does it cause cancers, but these substances are so dangerous that they're also known to cause birth defects, hormone interference, and even early puberty in teenagers. Most of these symptoms affect children and infants. Now, I'd like to bring your attention back about a year ago when a massive disaster that reached attention of international news happened, which was the train derailment in East Palestine, Ohio. What most people don't know, though, is that the main component in the ensuing chemical spill was PVC. About 1 million pounds of polyvinyl chloride gases were emitted into the surrounding environment. as a result of the train derailment, which doomed many of the people in the area to a permanent higher risk of cancer that they'll have to live with for the rest of their lives. But the real nightmare that's happening right now that no one's talking about is the fact that in 2021 alone, around 400 billion pounds of polyvinyl chloride gases were released by PVC manufacturing plants. That's far, far more than anything that's ever would have happened in East Palestine, far outweighs that. And not only are these PVC chemicals silently killing hundreds to thousands of people every year and putting millions at risk, but they're also threatening our economy. Because even though they're marketed as being a cheaper and relatively inexpensive material compared to other plastics and metals, especially in the construction sector, such as for pipes and conduits for electric wires, in the long run, they actually cost more because they are less durable and more frequent to breakage. For reference, a galvanized steel pipe or a copper pipe, which not only are much safer and infinitely recyclable, unlike PVC, they also last about 2 times longer than the average PVC pipe. And there are simply better materials to use than PVC in most cases, such as fiberglass, which is much cheaper and easier to install than PVC conduit. And most of the scariest part of all is the fact that all of you probably have PVC products in your own home, whether that be food packaging, labels for bottled water, even on backpacks, school supplies. Yes, exactly. It's like Dasani. And being exposed to PVC, just being around it, you're exposed to dioxins and these chemicals, even in small doses, which can have effects in the long run. The most concerning cause, of course, is combustion, which you can see by East Palestine and in manufacturing plants. So, I've put forward an ordinance for the city of Bedford to prohibit the distribution and sale of consumer PVC products, such as food packaging, labels, school supplies, coated metals, and also to prohibit the sale and distribution of PVC construction materials, such as tiles, panels, pipes, and conduits, and also to prohibit any new construction projects on city property from implementing PVC materials, specifically PVC pipes. Now, the main thing that I want to put forward to the City Council is not only is PVC dangerous, but there are also necessary alternatives that can be implemented instead that will save us more resources in the long run and protect human lives. Thank you for letting me speak. And wait, more. I would like this proposal to be put through whatever council body, commission, or committee is necessary for it to be adopted and drafted into law and voted on. Thank you.
Thank you. You've certainly done your homework.
So, will the city contact me? And what's the process for them getting back to me, if they get back to me?
If you come up after, we can get your name and phone number to contact you.
Okay, good. I can wait if there's other people speaking right now.
Okay.
All right.
Hi, Ann McPherson, 22 Cresswell. I just want to thank Councilman Spinks for the turkeys that she distributed in Ward 1 for Thanksgiving, and I've had a couple of calls that want to know what's on the menu for Christmas.
That wasn't me, that was actually for a generous donor that does it every year. So I just deliver them. It's an honor to be able to have that person do this every year. So it's a thank you to that generous donor that does it every year.
And
It
thank
makes
them
it
for
possible to help out my residents.
Thank you. And today someone was on Cresswell marking up the sidewalks and the streets. So you are getting ready to dig up again. You just paved the street last year and did the sidewalks.
I don't believe we are. I think that was Dominion
It
again
was
that was out there. But I don't have specifics on that. I'll share that as soon as we find out.
Looked like something that Saunders did at the voting. Anyway, to all of you Buckeye fans, you have my condolences.
Anyone else? Seeing none, I have a motion for adjournment. Spinks, second by Fluharty. Call a roll, please.
Fluharty?
Yes.
Smith?
Yes.
Asbury?
Yes.
Saunders?
Yes.
Cochee?
Yes.
Spinks?
Yes.
Janutus?
Yes.